It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Light Forex Social Trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Good morning, 2nd of October 2019, it's 8 AM CET, pre-London Open live market coverage here, Light Forex Global YouTube channel. Good morning, Piotr here, it's my pleasure to be with you guys. It's just the beginning of the October, but plenty of things already happened, and that's what we are going to discuss this morning. Of course, as usual, before we start, guys, let's have quick risk warning. Please bear in mind trading effects on margin trading crypto carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for all investors. You can sustain a loss of some or all initial investment, so please do not invest the money you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Okay. So what we have? What we have here, we start yesterday with Canadian GDP. We were covering Canadian GDP, a little bit weakened number, been trying to trade Euro-CAD to the upside, if you remember. Unfortunately, two break-evens. Then we are waiting for ISM. Not bad PMI. 15 minutes ahead of the ISM, a little bit stronger dollar, and then boom, very weak ISM manufacturing, strong sell-off on indices. That was the most important thing, and some profit taking from the long dollar. That was another thing. So let's try to summarize what we discussed yesterday. It was first, if you remember, we were discussing this post-ISM gap down. I've mentioned it's not gonna be closed on that day. I explain why. Because of this first 5-minute trading range, how this gap behaved, where it appeared, and so that was the explanation. I didn't super chase that market. I placed my order, which is still visible here. I think I will have to put it a little bit lower. But what is important, guys? You know, if we are talking about the monthly chart, right, and especially that we are at the very beginning of the month, the quality of that sell-off, I mean, how fast they move. It might be related to the possible swing high creation, but still, as you can see, my order is around monthly open, all right? So it's very early into the month, and I do believe that we got the chance to retest that level. So I'm not in rush to try to chase this market right here, right now. Now, another thing why I'm not, I don't want to chase it yet, another thing is that it was ISM manufacturing. Now, of course it's important, but we have tomorrow, and we are going to cover it live, we have ISM non-manufacturing, which is, in my opinion, it's more important. And there, the expectations are around 55. If we are going to get hit there, then the strategy is going to need to be updated, but it's still, we still have a time. Also, Friday we do have non-farm payrolls. and I'm going to cover it live as well here, Light Forex Global YouTube channel. So please, you're more than welcome to join me on that day. And of course, if we have non-farm payrolls on Friday, meaning that today we have ADP, and of course we are going to cover it live. So plenty of events, dollar related, US related, around towards the Friday. So you know, it's not a time to try to chase the market, right? We should get some answer from the market. So if we are going to go down straight from here on indices, right, there will be time to update the strategy. There will be time to try to make it a little bit different, but I think not yet. It's not the time, and we might see those spikes and stuff like this. So very careful with indices, but the order simply is waiting. I might, as I mentioned, I might move a little bit lower towards the weekly open, blue dotted line, but we are around them. My order is around the monthly open. All right, so that's how I see the DJ. So I have not been filled on DJ, and I've been monitoring two more things yesterday. If you remember, before we left, I explained dollar Swiss franc and euro dollar. So let's start with euro dollar, because as you can see, there is one open position, and it's the less than, it's like quarter left. All right, and there is an order. Now let me explain, because we were discussing this yesterday. Let me explain. Before we left, on this spike to the upside, I've mentioned that I'm looking to buy somewhere close to 109, and that was this one over here was my original order, right? But when they started to move to the downside, that should be important for some of you. When they started to move to the downside here, right, I've been watching very carefully, because there was some kind of it usually works like this, that it's gonna be one more ramp to the upside. All right, so when I saw this lower shadow is being created, right, so when we started to move higher from here, and when we were reversing, I simply, without waiting as a limit order, I bought straight on the market, right? So I've been partially closing around 30, around the weekly open. So something left. I'm still a bit long euro dollar. Already I can move my stop. And make it break even. Again, I've been taking partial profits around this 109.30 and weekly open. Now there are two important things from the euro dollar we are going to discuss once we are going to connect with Michał. So I'm going to get back to euro dollar. There was one more currency pair I've been watching and been waiting to trade, was dollar Swiss franc. But here, as you can see, after strong rejection, from my perspective, I have not been filled. We didn't get back to the levels where I've been waiting for the dollar Swiss franc. But here, I do believe there is a big chance we are going to get back towards the rejection. And let me explain you why I do believe that we are going to get there. Basically, what I've mentioned before, what we are awaiting for, right? The US data. That's the one reason. And let me show you something. If the range here, right? If this move to the downside here, all right? If this move to the downside here created some kind of the range, so let me show you the range. Right, right? So that was the range, right? So if that was the range, so first thing first, what we seen here, right? In August, mid-August, it was the stop count to the downside of that range, right? There you go. And then what happened yesterday, the parity was rejected almost similar way what we've seen here in the mid of August, right? So as you can see, we had the retest of that rejection, right? Very next day, and then 2 weeks later. So I do believe something similar is going to happen here. Why? Because, you know, we saw the rejection from the parity, but what usually market do, market is saying check, right? Is testing. So I do believe we are going to test that supply, and that supply is a little bit, of course, lower than the yesterday rejection, right? It's somewhere here close to 99.80, 99.95 parity. So somewhere towards these levels. Now it's better visible from the intraday perspective. Let's say hourly, right? Because that's the high over here, so 99.95. All right, somewhere towards the parity again. Especially that from this hourly chart, right, what I think we might see, okay, it might be just attempt to break lower through the yesterday low. Tokyo did it already, so some stop count was done. Okay, they took it this latest week. Oh, I missed that one, but it was, anyway, it was during the Tokyo session. That latest weakness we have here. Oh, I didn't notice that one. Shame on me. But anyway, it was Tokyo, so maybe we are going to see attempt to move a little bit lower. Anyway, that's a little bit of the recovery going on. Still think that we might see a little bit lower levels. So even there is a possibility that at some point I will try to. I'm not saying I'm gonna do that, but maybe at some point, in case of the stop count through the Tokyo low and rejection, maybe small longs. We will see. But what is important, I think, that market has to check that supply, because it simply might be what happened yesterday with dollar. It simply might be bad data, some kind of the profit taking, and then dollar is going to be the market will buy back the dollar, right? So, you know, it's a beginning of the new month, no reason to try to chase, to try to be in rush. Let's have a look what we are going to get. So from 3 I've watched yesterday, Dow Jones, USD, Swiss franc, and euro dollar. I've been able to trade euro dollar only, right? And I'm still partially long. And we are going to discuss euro dollar within the next few minutes. Let me connect with Michał, our macro guy. Let's have a look what he has for us. And we are going to be back within the next few seconds together with Michał, so stay with me. Wakey, wakey, Mr. Michał, good morning.
Good morning, wakey, wakey.
How you doing? All good?
Good. Yeah, Canadian dollar eventually pulled back, but
But
yeah,
remember, we were talking about the stronger dollar yesterday, and I told you that if we have a consensus, it meaning that it's going to be completely opposite, and that what happened. Anyway, let's make it smooth and sweet. What do you have for us?
okay. We will, extend this topic with the ISM and what happened yesterday. We had this, tweet from President Trump, which was explaining why ISM where the ISM reading was so bad. And he told that the dollar went too strong, and of course blame all to the Fed that the rates are so high, and that's made the dollar too strong. So at the end he he just said the Powell and the Fed are pathetic, but he did choose this guy. So I think also that the first thing is the ISM. I think we did expect the lower reading, but not that bad, because all around the world manufacturing data are getting weaker and weaker. But right now we see that also in the US is being affected, and the ISM is containing the new orders, production, imports, export, and employment. So it's the reading below 50, so it's all contracting. It's getting shrinking.
I've got my own conspiracy theory in regards to the yesterday reading. But first thing first, in relation what you've mentioned about the President Trump tweet. So looks like he is like a small boy. I am a good guy and the rest is the bad guys, right? So he's going to blame everyone around, but not himself. That's the first thing first. The second,
good cop and bad cop.
Yeah, the second thing, my conspiracy theory, because ahead of the ISM we had this PMI, and the PMI wasn't bad, right? It was like even tick better than what market was expecting, right? And then ISM was completely opposite. So my conspiracy theory is saying, and based on what we already discussed a few times, that President Trump is going to win the next election only in case of the good of the economy being in a good shape, right? When the economy is going to do well, then President Trump got the chance. On the other hand, if we are going to have the US election in the middle of some kind of the crisis, right, or recession, then probably President Trump it's not gonna win. So my conspiracy theory is saying that based on what we get from the US PMI, in charge of the announcement was the fans of the President Trump, but when it comes to the ISM, in charge of that announcement was the opposition, right? So overall, in short, what I'm trying to say is that all of these are manipulated, and we are manipulated that way. Anyway, let's talk briefly in regards to this ISM about this euro dollar I've mentioned before. So I'm still being long, and there are, we have to clearly say nothing has happened yet for the dollar bull. So in other words, the bears controlling the market medium and long term. And what happened yesterday, it was just the weekly open retest, nothing else as of now. For me, I think we might see a little bit higher levels, and when I'm talking about a little bit higher levels, I'm talking about this breakdown over here. Let me use the arrow. I'm talking about this breakdown here, because from here we had this lowest close of the year, right? I'm not talking about the shadows because that's not the close. I'm talking about this close. So this combination here between 24th of September and 25th of September, that's where I think the real supply resides, and that's around psychological 110 level. So in that case, I'm waiting for a higher level to try to renew a dollar long position. Short term, based on what we've seen yesterday, I've been trading, and I'm still partially long euro dollar, and there are two possibilities to try to join the parity. Either we are going to see retest of that 109.05, 108.95. That's where I'm waiting with this order, based on what we've seen yesterday, right? So deeper pullback. Maybe some of you can see here inverted head and shoulders already. I mean, with this pullback, all right? That could be the case, and that also suggests the possibility of this test of the level close to psychological 110 would be possible, right? Fulfilling this target from the inverted head and shoulder. But there is a possibility that market will try to do the thing here a little bit different. So what I'm trying to talk about is this supply, right? And we penetrated this supply quite strongly. So what might happen here depends on what we are going to witness during the very early London. If we are going to hit that low, in that case I'm talking about 0925 based on my chart, right? By 2, 3, 4 pips with the lower shadow, something similar to this, it might be some kind of the flag creation, and we might straight from here go higher. So it's gonna be very, very important to try to figure it out after the London Open. What is the name of the game here? It might be a little bit tricky, and because you know everyone is waiting for the pullback right now, so this pullback may not come, right? The same, it's this type of the consensus we had with Michał yesterday, saying that dollar is gonna be stronger, and then when we agreed, I've mentioned that it's not going to happen in that case. All right, so that's how I see the things on the euro dollar. Back to you, Michał.
I think only I would like to add to your conspiracy theory that I think about this manipulation. They didn't want to. Trump didn't want to, escalate the trade tensions with China. So here we have this case with a very poor ISM and very strong comment from Donald Trump. So I think that was the play. Another thing we will talk about is this final trade deal proposition from UK government to the EU officials, and we have I think we have strong comments from UK government representatives that the EU officials are discussing the Brexit with the government, not the parliament, and they will not talk about the delay. They are firmly trying to stay at the point that they will leave the EU with or without a deal, despite the parliament was voted that they should ask for the extension of the date. So we will see what will happen after that.
I think let me disturbing you for a second. I think that maybe the people who knows real situation in UK, you can count on using the fingers of the one hand probably. No one know what is going on in the UK.
But the meeting will be on 17th of October with UK officials and Boris Johnson about the trading. And I think the argument that they are showing right now about the backstop, which was the most difficult case to settle between the sides, are now the idea is that the Northern Ireland will be in a special relationship towards the 2025 year, a special relationship with the EU, and then they will decide whether they want to stay in the EU or follow the UK, United Kingdom rules further. So I think that that might be some solution, and we will see what's going to happen. But right now every comment towards the positive for Boris Johnson, we can say that saying that he's in this strong position right now. I think will cause the weakening of the pound as we saw before, because the no deal Brexit is more likely to become flash.
Okay, so let's talk about the cable here. Full roller coaster yesterday. We had a weakness, we had a strength, and then we had a weakness again. So overall, market makers they did a lot of money yesterday based on the stop hunt. Anyway, what we have here, and I'm gonna to focus on the short-term chart. Basically, I'm gonna to focus on Monday low, which has been taken out yesterday with strong recovery. So as you can see, and I'm gonna put the arrows here. As you can see, we had quite a few times the reaction around this Monday low level. And we are testing these levels right here, right now again. So there is still 30 minutes towards the London Open. I'm gonna to watch it very, very carefully, and in case of some kind of the lower shadow, the rally back towards the weekly open, or even towards the top of that range we've seen here. In that case, 23.45, 23.50 still might be possible. So very, very interesting thing, of course, because of this whole Brexit saga, Brexit mess. Pound is the tricky one to try to trade. But yeah, I'm going to watch, especially that we have, as you can see, very nice demand which pushed us higher through the stops yesterday, and we are testing these levels right here, right now. So the London Open might be very interesting from the cable perspective. Back to you, Michał.
I think that's all from me. I don't want to extend it anymore.
Okay.
Don't make any story.
Okay. When you are going to join us again?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow
Morning. Yeah.
Okay, and we have 2 meetings tomorrow. Well, 3 meetings tomorrow. We are going to cover pre-London Open live, then we are going to cover EU and UK PMI live, and then we are going to cover US PMI. So yeah, there is a lot of chances for fireworks tomorrow. Michał, thank you very much for your inputs.
Thank you also.
Have a great London session, and see you tomorrow.
Same to you. Same to you guys. Take care. Bye.
Interesting to see the reaction, right? So around this monthly open, and weekly high and Monday high, right? But I think still there is a chance that they will go and try to test 109 level. But anyway, I've been talking about that yesterday, that you know, for now, from the medium term perspective, just dollar yen is the dollar pair I would look to sell medium term, right? At least for now. And looks like it materialized, but a little bit too early from my perspective. So here, right now, I would wait still for a retest of the higher level. So let's switch to the lower time frame. Let's have a look what we have on the hourly chart, and as you can see, huge sell-off. We took out Monday low, but we are back up again above the Monday low. So what might happen and what might be worth to watch, eventually possible over under. So tricky, but if we are going to hold 107.75, more fireworks to the upside might be in place. Here, unfortunately, I'm not a fan of buying this dollar yen. Still, when we see a little bit lower levels, that could be the case for me. That's what we discussed yesterday twice, as far as I remember. So many changes, but I wouldn't say say that dollar is already done, because it is not. If you remember our Monday meeting, we were following the dollar index chart from the medium and long-term perspective. As long as we are above 95, there is a this type of the pullback could take place. Now let's get back for a second to the DJ. And what is interesting overall from the indices perspective, that we are a little bit lower, right, than where we were previous October previous year, right? Because we started the move to the downside from here, and well, who knows? I can try to different word. I'm going for sure to monitor the development early October here on indices from the short side perspective, and who knows? Maybe we are going to follow the patterns we've seen right here, right now on the chart. Started October last year, right? Well, if we can get that, move to the downside. More about the US indices during our afternoon meeting. So, trying to summarize the morning meeting, I'm going to watch carefully euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss franc, and DJ. That's it from me for now. You are more than welcome to join me this afternoon, 2 p.m. CET, 15 minutes ahead of the ADP, and the job market in focus today, and of course Friday non-farm payrolls. Guys, it was my pleasure to be with you here. Thank you very much. Have a great London session. Please don't be trapped, and see you around. Goodbye.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, light Forex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.